at the Trump International Golf Club. Lindsay?
Manny, I may have misheard you, but did you say that right now the only two charges that have been filed are weapons possession charges?
That's correct. The only two charges that were brought up in court are related to the possession of the firearm. One for being in possession of a firearm as a convicted felon, and the other for obliterating the serial number on that firearm. It was interesting to not hear more about potential charges related to what the FBI had called the apparent assassination attempt, another one on former President Trump. But you have to remember that it's very early on in this case right now. We're assuming that additional charges could be forthcoming. They still have to hand down an indictment of this. So this is all we heard so far in the courtroom. Just those two charges related only to the possession of a firearm.
Manny, did the judge say at all when that hearing on whether or not Routh will be held on bail will be?
Yes, let me look at my notes here. They have 5 days, he said, to get that hearing done. It was set for Monday, September the 23rd. There's also what they call a probable cause hearing. That was set for Monday, September 30th. This hearing in there lasted just under 10 minutes, so not a lot was revealed about potentially, again, what possible other charges he may face, just really setting into motion the beginning of what could eventually be a trial against him. This was an initial appearance, then you have the bond hearing, then you have the probable cause hearing. So the dates were laid out, and then he was walked right back out of the courtroom to where he is being held.
Manny Bojorquez, we really appreciate you coming out of that hearing and walking in front of a camera to bring us the very latest. Thank you. I want to bring in CBS News campaign reporter Olivia Rinaldi. Olivia, since we last spoke, we have heard from the former president about this. What did he say?
Yes, the former president now talking about the rhetoric that led to this attempted or what appears to be a second assassination attempt, blaming President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris for what he says is increased rhetoric against him that is leading to this violence. He was speaking to Fox News' Brooks Singman, saying that this rhetoric is troublesome and it's part of the reason why he's seen these several attempts on his life. Trump also last night thanking police officers and service members who were there and Secret Service members who protectively helped him and perhaps thwarted what could have been a second assassination attempt. So we're hearing a lot from the former president, leaning in a little bit to the issues around the rhetoric. It's a discussion we've been having today of the increased rhetoric we're hearing in this cycle and how it could be leading to political violence that we're starting to see play out a little bit. Lindsay.
Olivia, what do we know about who Trump was with yesterday on the golf course, if anyone?
He was with Steve Witkoff, who is a mega donor of the former president. He's a longtime friend. He's also someone that testified on behalf of Trump in the hush money trial that took place earlier this year. He was there with friends golfing at his golf course, which is not unusual. You know, Trump is often golfing if it's an off day or a perceived off day from the campaign trail. Normally, he's golfing, so nothing out of the ordinary there, but still questions about how this individual knew that Trump would be at this specific golf course at this specific time. You know, if you've been in West Palm Beach, if you've spent some time there, you know that there's sometimes a motorcade driving around, and it's usually former President Donald Trump, and heading to one of his golf courses on a beautiful day is not out of the ordinary. So he was there with Mr. Witkoff, and we've reached out to them for comment on perhaps how all of this went down, just details of what those harrowing moments on the golf course must have been like when they got ushered off by the U.S. Secret Service and taken to a secure location. A lot of questions still. What happened? How did it happen? How did they know? What the reaction was from the former president within that moment, given we are just over 2 months out from the previous assassination attempt that he went through in Butler, Pennsylvania. So a lot of questions still remaining about how this all unfolded. And looking ahead to the week, you know, Donald Trump still has a lot of campaign events on his schedule for this week, tomorrow in Flint, Michigan, later in the week in New York. Whether those continue, the campaign tells us they are planning to continue those right now, but just the security apparatus around them, given the second, what appears to be the second attempt on his life, a lot of questions, Lindsay.
CBS News has been talking to sources about Trump's demeanor right now in these moments. What can you tell us?
Yeah, sources have been talking to our Robert Costa, the best in the business. You know, he's talking to everyone close to the former president. He says his spirits are high, that he is jovial. This kind of mirrors what we saw after the attempt on his life in Butler, where he kind of felt like he had a new lease on life and was feeling very positive in the days after that. Even joking at one point yesterday, sources telling Robert Costa that he's upset that he didn't get to finish his round of golf, that he was on the fifth hole of what would likely probably be 18 holes of golf, and he's upset he didn't get to finish that, but also that he's determined to keep campaigning. We heard yesterday from the former president in a fundraising email that he said his resolve, rather, is stronger than ever. So a little bit of perseverance there that we're seeing from the former president. And of course, the signature line, fight, 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 which we heard him say after the assassination attempt in Butler. We've started to see that percolate online among aides and allies of the former president. That's kind of their motto going forward towards November as they see it.
Olivia Rinaldi, thank you so much. We're going to get you back to CBS Mornings. We will have much more at noon and throughout the afternoon on CBS News 24/7.
These are the stories
1, 2, 3, go!
of we, the people.
We're trying to generate our own hope.
It's a huge deal.
I'm enabling them to feel valued.
Eye on America. Weeknights on the CBS Evening News with Norah O'Donnell.
I had progressively fallen deeper into the world of online sports betting.
The risk is the rush.
What do you think is driving the spike in popularity?
I think it's legality.
If it's legal, I'm